This video will demonstrate an important feature in PVS called PVS Layer Viewer. This functionality shows the layers processed by the PVS runs on the basis of keep layer selection made in the PVS run submission forms and using the keep_layers command in the PVL. Let's see how the PVS Layer Viewer functions. To initialize this feature, the user needs to start a PVS run on a sample cell. It could be any of the standard PVS runs like DRC, ERC, LVS, etc. In this example, let us do a DRC run on a sample cell called DRC test layout. Go to PVS dropdown and click on Run DRC. That brings up the DRC run submission form. Along with the DRC settings, we need to focus on the Keep Layers option under the output page. As you can see here, there are three options here, namely All, None, and Rules Definition. The behavior of the Layer Viewer feature will depend on the options the user makes here. These options helps control the visibility of the layers, including the intermediate layers in the PVS Layer Viewer. Let's see each option in detail. None would be the default option and that does not save any layers. Selecting All under the Keep Layers function will make sure that the Layer Viewer window will list out all the layers processed by the PVS DRC run, including the intermediate layers. Empty layers in the PVS are not displayed in the viewer. Coming to rules definition, this option is important as it allows you to keep layers on the basis of the PVL rule deck file. Use this option if you have specified patterns for layers to save with keep layers command in the rules file. Now let us do a DRC run with option all selected for the keep layers and click on submit. Once the run finishes, exit the debug environment and close report. PVS run would create a cell mapping file, namely lay_cellmap.txt file, and this would map the df2 library cell and view details to the GDS2 cell name. From the Virtuoso layout suite, from the PVS dropdown, click on Layer Viewer. This would open a window, namely Open PVS Layer Viewer, in which point the run directory to the DRC run path. Cell map field will automatically be filled with the cell map file path. Click OK. PVS Layer Viewer window comes up to the right side of the layout suite and it lists out all the layers processed by the PVS DRC run. Note that it includes the intermediate layers generated by the PVL coding as well. For example, all_st and all_gates. Now this aspect of displaying the intermediate and derived layers makes this option a great PVL debugger, since it is indispensable for the rules file developers who want to verify that they are implementing the correct commands or the options while writing the code. Let us look at some of the options in the Layer Viewer window. Each layer has a checkbox next to them. A selected checkbox means that the layer is visible in the layout and vice versa. You may disable all the layers in the layer palette to the left of the screen and explore the Layer Viewer options for better understanding and visibility. Right-click on the layers and you have options to up or down the layer order in the layout suite. Change the color of the layer or purge it from the virtual memory. You also have options to load or save the layer color file, close the entire form, filter the text box with the wildcards, or even to toggle the layer visibility using the AV and NV buttons, which stands for all visible and none visible. You can highlight the layers in the design based on the filters you have just defined. Now let's do a DRC run with the rules definition option selected for the keep layers and click on submit. Now this is where the keep_layers PVL rule comes into the picture and instructs PVS to save the layers based on the specified criteria in order to use them in the PVS Layer Viewer functionality. You can save either all the layers or the layers which match a particular pattern. Also, you can use pattern to specify the layers to be ignored. If no patterns are used, then all layers will be saved. Let us see some of the case studies here. As you can see here in the PVL rule file, you have 3 keep layers options being mentioned at the bottom. Let us start with option 1. Now if we mention star gate star here, then all the layers with the word gates in it will be saved. Save the file and submit the DRC run. Once the run is finished, you can see only those rules which has got the word gates in it displayed in the PVS Layer Viewer window. If we just keep the option 2, that is keep layers and nothing else, then all layers will be saved, and note that it is equivalent to the all option in the keep layer drop down in the PVS run form, which we have demonstrated initially. Coming to the option 3, where we will try to make one selection. In that list, we would try to make some omissions. For example, keep layers all star, in which all the layers which has got the name starting with all would be selected, then followed by -not star gate star, which means from the initial list, all those layers which has got the word gates in it would be omitted. So that is how the layer viewer functionality works. Now, what is the difference between the palette window to the left of the layout suite and the layer viewer functionality we have just demonstrated? While the palette window shows up only the standard virtuoso layers like the PVL, poly, metals, and the contacts, the PVS Layer Viewer would identify and display only those layers which are specific to a PVS run. And as mentioned earlier, that includes the intermediate or the derived layers from the RuleTech program as well. The PVS Layer Viewer functionality requires this particular license and is available with the following Virtuoso versions, namely IC 616 ISR 7 or IC 12.1 ISR 9. That is the end of this demonstration. Thank you.